What's up? What's up? What's happening? It's yours truly, Javon Freeman, back with another one. Hold on, let me transition the headphones. Do a quick play just to.
This country and
Okay, yeah. All right, so back to the regular spiel or deal. Add the Instagram at the b.o.m.experience. Okay, use the email in the bio on the Instagram page to email me any videos you may want me to react, give my analysis, opinions on, or my critique, whatever the case may be. Also, give me a like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and even hit the dislike button if you don't like what you're seeing or hearing. I appreciate it all. The dislikes are anonymous, so don't worry. This one I think is very interesting. I was going to watch this regularly. Earlier today, I got busy and then I ended up watching it on somebody else's channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then I came across a nice little situation where Zelenskyy is being interviewed on one of the news networks, and I would love to hear what he has to say. Just seeing, the title Trump and Zelenskyy meeting gets heated. I think this is great. We are in a time now where the establishment, the elites, the people up top, they can see that we can see whether they're organic or not. And this is a time where, hey, you're going to be accountable or you're not. So much has come to the surface, just on a spiritual, esoteric degree of looking at things. And I think it's amazing. But without further ado, I really don't want to wait. I think this was a great situation to actually witness. Um, and then we're going to actually listen to the interview. The interview is much longer, but I got time today. I think this might be the only reaction I do for today. I think it will be a good one. Definitely share this.
be seen, the principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit. We'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is
No.
that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Some of those
Mr. President, I
minerals
just
are in
wanted
the
to ask
east,
you
Mr.
about,
President.
you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you...
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am. I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest
Well,
there?
we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about. So we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces?
protected. The
European
agreement
forces?
will protect them.
U.S.
The
forces?
agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement. You
Right,
know?
but what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian aggression in those spots?
I just told you, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder why.
You know, they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these things.
Yeah, I would be honest. Hearing that a second time is great. Because even when I first heard the question, it kind of slipped over, but I heard his response. Hearing the question, I could see they're definitely if she was asking questions, trying to probe for an answer that would create, some conflict or some discomfort, or create tensions. That was a sliding question, and I think that was a great response. It seemed very organic. Um, was it Legacy Media is not in a great boat right now? Shout out to YouTubers. Oh, you know what? I was also going to say, don't be afraid to donate to the Cash App. It's going to be down in the description below. The first thing I'm going to do with the Cash App is get the premium YouTube and figure out how I can implement that into here so we can get rid of the advertisements. I don't like seeing the advertisements pop up. I really don't. And so I'm gonna figure out a way to make it more seamless and whatnot, but I think that would be a great starting point. That would be a very great starting point. We get the premium, less ads, we could just run through the videos, and all that good stuff.
Focus on surviving, because CNN's got such low ratings, I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go. Please, go ahead.
Since I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?"
Yep, that is very bad diplomacy.
I'm not aligned with
If he were to do that, that'd be very bad
I'm
diplomacy.
aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get
And
this
I'll be
thing on
honest,
with. You see,
I certainly did appreciate the glazing on America. We got some great muscle cars over here. It's a shame what these other countries are doing to America. They send all their vehicles here. They outrageous prices. They got tariffs on that shit too. We pay all these prices for BMW, Mercedes, Nissan. I got me a Maxima right now. You buy it off the lot, crazy prices, but you don't see any foreign cars or what would be foreign to them. You don't see any American cars in foreign nations. They not driving them. We don't have grandstanding American car factories the way we used to back in the day. A lot of Americans don't even drive American-made cars. Don't get me wrong, in the South, they certainly do. However, in the city areas, yeah, you don't. I get it. A lot of people want to keep up with the Joneses and whatnot, but I digress. I want to get back into this.
the hatred he's got for Putin, it's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was
killed,
not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but,
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody.
Now, Zelenskyy is a slime ball for this because what he's not saying is that Zelenskyy has been doing deals with NATO nations when he isn't supposed to. See, Ukraine is supposed to be almost like a buffer zone. Russia doesn't invade Ukraine, Ukraine doesn't get aid from NATO nations or the European nations, nor do they join NATO. And that's what Ukraine or Zelenskyy is fighting for right now, to be able to join NATO. And I think in that deal, Trump is going to be like, nah, dog, you can't join NATO. And no, homie, you can't get certain weapons. Because look at what you do with them. Just recently, Ukraine launched U.S.-made missiles into Russia, thanks to the Biden administration, sad to say. But this is a slime ball move, because what he's doing, like a lot of people or a lot of immature people, is throwing rocks, hiding the hand, and then not saying, well, yeah, I did throw some rocks too. Dirty politicians.
It stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire.
And if anybody hasn't been watching Candace Owens' series, definitely tap in with the Brigitte Macron situation. That don't mean nothing, okay? Like, we don't care. I don't care if you sign with Macron. Macron is arguably the bottom to another bottom. Like, God, that stuff is crazy.
Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media.
Yeah.
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
And I just want to say, I think this is great. Shout out to Trump for letting JD stand on his 10. That is something we need. Look, Trump is the president of the United States. I ain't got to say nothing. My number 2 handled this conversation for me. Man, that's big dog work. That's big dog. Man, what? That's why I want to have a son one day. So I bring him on my business ventures. No, talk to my son. I'm still here. But my son's going to say everything he needs to say. I may not say anything at all. You're doing a deal with me, but if my son says no, oh well. That's my number 2 for a reason. Man, I'm not saying J.D. Vance is Trump's son. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it in a metaphorical sense. Stand on your 10, J.D. Stand on your 10, bro.
You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
And then you gonna bring this mess in the Oval Office? You in my house. I'm doing a deal for you. You can get killed with your people. You understand that, right? That's how war works. Man. All right, let's get through it, because it's getting.
Into Ukraine, that you say what problems we have.
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems?
I ain't hear that.
In your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're
not
in no
saying
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was
have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
what you're
You're
thinking about?
gambling
What
with
you're
World
thinking
War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I just want people to. I just want to take a moment. A moment. I don't know if you can see my. Nah, you can't see my cursor, but my cursor is right now circling Donald Trump's head. Look at his head. Look at his face, and then look at the back of his hand. That man is turned orange, orangish red, reddish orange. That man is actually getting frustrated. Pay attention, even though he's a person. He's orange as is. Not orange. He has his tan. But okay, I'm gonna take it back a couple. Just so you can see. We're at 4407. You see that? You see that complexion right there? Neutral. That's his natural
during
color.
the war.
That's his natural color. Now let's go back to marker 40. Look at that. There is blood rush to his face. He's actually frustrated.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West
If you didn't have our military equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in
Now,
2 weeks.
Pay attention. Zelensky is a slime ball. He sat there and looked at JD Vance and said, "You're getting loud." And JD Vance ain't get loud. Trump is getting loud. But he won't dare tell Trump to lower his voice. Yo, listen, I know I watched this already, but look, second time around, there are just certain things you pick up. Alright, I sat here in disbelief watching it the first time. Second time around, this shit is hilarious.
3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times thank you to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to my.
He letting them know.
I'm sorry.
He letting them know
Because
you only
the
talking tough
attitudes
because
have to
it's
change.
America.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
what if
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But
Okay? What have they broken? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff.
And what Trump is referring to right now is how before Biden left office, he pardoned practically his whole family dating back as far as 2014. Biden was president in 2020. See, so that says a lot right there. You listen, you ain't going to get your information like the way you going to get it here at, the BOM experience, with yours truly, Javon Freeman. Give me a like, hit the Cash App as well. I'm definitely going to figure out a way to, that's all on the stats. That's all on y'all. Y'all got to share the videos. Y'all got to hit the likes. Y'all got to get active so I can set up the super chats. Oof. But one step at a time. I definitely want to get the premium because I don't want advertisements in this.
It was a Democrat scam, and he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks, sir.
All right. I think that was great. I sat there, my eyebrows were risen. I said, wow, I got to say something about this one. Trump is absolutely right. Great television. Now that that's out the way, right? Let's get over to after and see what Zelenskyy had to say. Now, before we get to it, I just want to say I didn't watch this. I just was doing my research and I came across and I said, oh shoot, Zelenskyy said something after. I'm praying that Zelenskyy doesn't make a boy's move and is actually very wise about the things he says. I hope his team tells him, be wise. Don't say nothing disrespectful. Because it's a shame that these politicians have the ability to send people to war. While they sit there and get rich, and it's usually the people that are going to war that are building these nations in the first place. And they take their lives very lightly. So anyway, let's get into it. Not the right one.
To special report, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Mr. President, thank you for the time today, especially on this day, to continue to do this interview. President Trump said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the Vice President and all of America in the Oval Office. Do you think you did? And do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
As an American, as a full-blooded American, okay, you absolutely did disrespect us. There ain't no question about it. Let's hope you're being very wise right now. And this is coming from a 24-year-old. Now, I'm not your average 24-year-old. May not be the tallest, I may not be the strongest, but I'm one of them ones. The universe, God, whatever higher power you want to call it, sat there and said, this guy walks through both the gates of heaven and the fires of hell simultaneously. He don't get touched unless the higher powers say, okay, it's time. I'm not capping. I already died once. I already died. That's no cap. That's no cap. And the ancestors and the universe was like, nah, dog, we need you here. I didn't have my life put on the line plenty of times. And I'm still here going hard. Knowledge on a gazillion. Anyway, yes, you disrespected us, but let's see what you got to say. Because I know you're going to try to sound tough for your country and all that. But please, have some wisdom.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and good evening to all your country, to all Americans. I'm very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale invasion. You helped us to survive. Anyway, we are strategic partners, and even in such tough dialogue, and I think we have to be very honest, and we have to be very direct to understand each other, because it's for us very necessary to President Trump, and I'm with all respect that he wants to finish this war, but
it's a lot of flattery, but I'm getting like this because this is where you actually got to listen to it, because he's getting ready to show what he's intending to say.
Nobody wants to finish more than we, because we in Ukraine, we are in this war, we are in this battle, for freedom, for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will, and we need to pressure him with Europe, with all the partners. And I think this dialogue had to be a little bit earlier to understand where we are.
Hold on.
And we need to pressure him with Europe, with all.
See, this dude keeps trying to throw in his 2 cents into the deal-making process. You ain't got you can't sit. Okay, this is like the crack fiend that's getting work from 2 drug dealers, but one of the drug dealers is a relative. And so he goes to the relative drug dealer to clear his debt with the other drug dealer, but he's in debt to his relative too. And he has to hope and pray that the relative doesn't just say, F him, have your way with him. You know, that's like real movie scene-esque. He's sitting there at the meeting with the 2 people that's actually in control of the scenario here. Sitting here saying, well, I want this and I want... That's when you gotta look at him and go, shut the fuck up. You don't have anything to negotiate with, and that's the position he's in. He has nothing to negotiate with. And by trying to throw in the European nations into it, I mean, there might be a much bigger cabal behind it. But I don't want to put the conspiracy hat on right now. I want to get through this. We got 23 minutes.
All the partners. And I think this dialogue had to be a little bit earlier to understand where we are. Like, you know, I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we're speaking about just and lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and you know Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect President, and I respect American people, and if, I don't know, if, I think that we have to be very open.
You know what? You know what? You know what, Zelenskyy? You know what, Zelensky, as a good American, once said, kiss the ring, mother. I don't want to say it's supposed to be friendly. I'm trying to do better, but it's nighttime.
And very honest. And I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things that where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. And I think that is the most important thing. Yes, we are partners. You know, we are very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be very free.
I'm told that you were told multiple times from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this. And this will be the first step to security guarantees, but it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees, this is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side and that America will stay with us, not with Russians, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be this.
And also to add some more context into this, I don't think a lot of media sources are saying this. Zelensky is just like Benjamin Netanyahu. The people don't actually care for him. So he has to do a lot of appeasing to people in his cabinet, to actual citizens. But like Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, the people there don't really care for him. But he has no choice but to embark on what he said he was going to do, so he can at least have some stature in what he says, you know, as a world leader or as a leader of a nation and whatnot. So he's kissing the ring, but he won't do it outright because he's trying not to seem weak. And him not leaving away with that minerals deal, it does not put him in a good position with his people back home.
This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe, and they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean this this is not good for both sides anyway, and
I think that was great. I think that was great. If you ask me, I think that was great, and here's why. I'm firing rapid fire right now. I think it was great. Why? Because Russia and Putin's going to watch this, and he's going to sit there and say, "Hold on." Shout out to Trump, because that doesn't usually happen on media like that, especially mainstream media. He's telling you you're fucked up. That's authentic. For somebody that's actually trying to get shit done, that's what you want to see. If I'm doing a deal with somebody and you're brokering or middlemaning the play, I want to see whether that middleman actually has leverage and power or proper positioning over the person that's, you know, trying to do the deal but can't do it for themselves. That is, I think that was great for, honestly, the US and for Russia. Not so much for Zelensky and Ukraine. However, you know, that may help broker a deal. Sit at the children's table, Zelensky, and while you at it, kiss the ring. Kiss that ring. You see that right there? That's presidential. And yes, that's real. That ain't going. This don't tarnish. That don't tarnish, baby. I showered with this. Kiss that, Zelensky. Kiss it. Big Amaru God.
Very open, but I can't, change our Ukrainian attitude to Russian. And I don't want, they kill us for us. This is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, their enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No, I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and we will have anyway diplomacy. We will have negotiations. I only said that I think so. It's about just and lasting peace. It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations, and at these negotiations, Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So we are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position. What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
This
He's
man,
looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow.
of course, they're not going to stop. You egg this on. You and your political party of people, the cabinets, and then shitty, corrupt parties here in America. Shout out the Biden crime syndicate, damn near. You taking money and then trying to broker deals to be a part of NATO and getting aid from NATO. When Putin made it clear, we're only making this deal with America to not take Ukraine, which they've believed for hundreds of years always belonged to Russia. Remember, and I put it in one of my live videos. I think the audio was choppy, but I'll talk about it now. What is that? Eastern Europe, Western Russia, that whole area. What is it? Let me pull up the map real quick.
We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees. We raise this topic about NATO the quickest way, but not all the countries are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's my position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States thinks maybe to help, maybe USA backstop, have to be just to guarantee that they are with Europeans. Look at Europe, it's strong. It became stronger, but they also want to have
Oh man, it was muted. I don't know how far back it was, but yeah, no, that area from Russia, Ukraine, what is it? I don't. It's all right. Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Moldova, Romania, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Georgia, as far south as Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and whatnot. Those areas have always been in constant war, and they want to keep their sovereignty, but how could you keep your sovereignty with, deceit, deception, corruption, and all that other stuff? And these powerful nations, it's like, bro, you sitting here relying on countries that will sell you out. We just might as well take the land, dog. Anyway, let's get back into this.
Allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App so we can get rid of these advertisements and whatnot.
Ukrainians survive without Congress support, of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe. Yeah.
So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
It will be difficult for us. That's why I'm here. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. It will be difficult without your support.
Now, I got to put the conspiracy hat on because it all ties into it, even though it's not a conspiracy. But Zelenskyy gets a lot of help from them boys, them people, and I've talked about them on this channel as well. They get a lot of help from them, so, and now throughout history, them boys, them people, them top hats and curly sideburn people, they don't get along with the Slavs, and the Slavs don't get along with them. They do not. Not at all. See, Russia has history that isn't talked about here in America. Why? Because America has deep ties with them boys. Man, listen, I've spoken to some Russians, and I'm grateful to have met them. Spasiba, danka. I might have to learn Russian. I really might have to. Slav is a different language, but I think I'm up for it. Man, let me just get into it.
But we can't lose our values, our people. We can't lose our freedom. So a lot of people, Russians came to our territory, Russians came to our houses, and everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people. Just to forget it, just to say that Putin is a great guy? No, without us. We don't want it.
Woe is me,
That's
victim mentality.
That's why we speak about,
throw rocks and hide your hand.
How it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody wants in Ukraine. Yes, of course, nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why when we say, no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? I'm not pushing, we are not pressuring, we're just asking, we're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much, but let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with our people, that America, stay with us. That's great. We count on it. But just to share it and to say it, that's all.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now. This is our army, is the part of security guarantees. Now we want to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy to diplomacy. Yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we. Four of us. I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long, it's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now, for now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States, but with all respect again. So for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure.
You heard him say NATO, right? You heard him say NATO, right? You heard him say NATO, right? There's a reason why Russia don't get along with Europe like that. Man. Anyway.
Infrastructure of security guarantees. And you see that no NATO countries, for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
So he says you need to consider resigning. Is that on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I was always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for.
Hold on. That was a great question. I just want to say that was a great question. If he sits there and says, "Oh yeah, I would step down," there's nothing left he can negotiate with. Conversation's done. No, Zelenskyy, step the fuck down. Now that's going to be real bad for them boys, them people, them top hat people. That's going to be real bad for them. They're going to have to figure out a way to, coup another person into position, which they've done for hundreds of years, clearly.
This such proposals, but anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that it's enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do, and if somebody is not this happy with me, okay, but between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsey, if I can say Lindsey, we know each other, yes, and only Ukrainians.
Democrats
vote for their president.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut posted this.
Connecticut. Shout out the own city because it's where I'm born and raised, but man. Connecticut just needs to hush. The only reason why it's considered an affluent state, is because it's right next to New York, and that is slowly losing the wind under the wings that it once had. It ain't even worth it, bro. Even rich people. I've sat back and I've spoken to, before I left, I spoke to some wealthy people that was in Connecticut, and even they were like, bro, the taxes is too damn much, and then there's no incentive to be here. We run businesses, and a lot of the businesses that have been in Connecticut for hundreds, couple hundred years, I don't want to say a couple hundred years, couple decades, couple generations, some for 100+ years, they're like, bro, like we might not even choose to stay here anymore, bro. It's not even worth it. My hairline looks far, but it's just my hair is curly. Oh man, I've been looking at it. Anyway, they handle the money so poorly. Now, granted, that's also, on the shoulders of the adults because they're not getting active at the local level. I had just got a call to be a part of one of the meetings, but I'm not even in Connecticut at the moment. But I'm gonna start tapping in soon. What just happened in the Oval's office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I didn't even read it. I didn't even read it. Oh, Connecticut is done for. Oh man, if y'all don't get rid of these people, this is gonna be an hour plus long video. This is crazy. Where is the world in space right now? Because think about it. Even though we're spinning around the sun is still moving in its own path in space. Wherever we're at in space got shit fucked up. What just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like it wasn't a planned ambush. It probably was. But it might have been a necessary planned ambush to help tell Putin, yo, man, we ain't trying to have no wars on this planet. We trying to make money. We don't need people dying. No, that doesn't hurt America's security because America don't need to send soldiers to help people putting themselves in shitty positions. Like, what is you talking about? But I wouldn't doubt that Chris Murphy is probably getting paid off by the boys somewhere down the line. Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Oh, I got the Elm City tatted on my back. I don't like that. Y'all need to get rid of Chris Murphy. Let me finish. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy. What an embarrassment. Oh, please. When J.D. Vance started talking about censorship, the European nations, the dude cried at the podium. How soft. Drop your nuts. Soft. Man, please. And then this is what you... Look at this dude. I be judging. Comb over? No mustache? Listen, I'm not allowed. I mean, I can have some here, but I assume risk. But you're in a position like that, and just because people have beards, just because people have face hair, doesn't mean they're men. But I'd be judging. I didn't even like Chris Murphy's advertisements when I was in Connecticut. But look at this dude. Women, you're spending your time on this? Let these dudes fall off the face of the earth. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're purple. I don't care if you're green. Well, I care about my green. But that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is, who mans is this? Get rid of them, dog. What an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment. Connecticut is failing. Good workers like me are leaving. And I'm only 24. You missed out. Please.
Just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy.
It sounds worse when he reads it. Yo, Trump, get Connecticut right so I could go back, man. I mean, but then again, if I'm never to go back, well, let's just say I don't go back. I would love to have some property in Connecticut. It won't be nothing for me, man. The things I would do for New Haven. What? Born and raised? I mean, I got stories to tell. I gotta write a book, bro. Should I? I don't know if I want to tell y'all all of that. I've been working. I do look good, too. Anyway.
What an embarrassment. Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I mean, I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said your tenor and tone set that.
It's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say, when you are in the United States, and for example, president or vice president or somebody or senators, it doesn't matter, big politicians, yes, when they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not heroes, that Ukraine lost millions of civilians, that his president is dictator, you know? What is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is feeling. And that.
Man, this ain't no friendship. This business. This business. The moment you took money, this was business. See, I told ya. This is a little fiend running to his elder relative or stronger relative to help clear his debt and to please wash away the trouble he's created. And he has to hope and pray. Hope and pray that the relative doesn't just say, have your way. Man, please. Now, granted, because them boys is all tied into each other, he at least knows deep down. If he doesn't know, I know. The U.S. just isn't going to say, here, have Ukraine do what you want and turn its eye the other way and go about its business. The United States isn't going to do that. But the people have spoken. You ain't getting no soldiers. We shouldn't be sending you no money. So let's see what is made of this.
That's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said that it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other conversations, and we had in Munich meetings, and I said, please, be correct. Just, I want to be very polite. I mean this, be correct with this number. When you say about the number, each person is important. When you say about 1 million of losses, we don't have any million of losses. Just when you speak about the territories, maybe some territories and etc., it's not just territory, it's houses, it's people's lives. You know, their fathers, mother, their relatives, grandfather, they died or during this war. Nobody wants to forgive Putin. It's not funny, you know, or fairy tale. This is real life. That's what I said. And when you said it, a lot of times to my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things, I think it's not. I mean, that's why I said it's not good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it.
We ain't
and
partners.
I think that if journalists asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, I mean, he has his interview.
Mr.
This is our dialogue.
Shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this, be behind closed doors?
No.
Of course not.
So do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
Finally.
Man, I was going to pause it anyway. Nah, I'm glad that it took place on camera so we can actually see how things get down behind closed doors. I think that's a great thing. It's a great thing. Let's get some transparency. You want to do business with United States? Come stand on your 10. The government works for the people anyway. So does the president. Even though he's supposed to be the point of the spearhead, the point of the spearhead only goes in the direction in which the body is catered to. Man, please. You want to do business with us? Come talk. I love it. I honestly, I'm a big advocate for it. Now, I get it. National security situations. Some things are going to happen behind closed doors. I get that. But other things? Oof. Yeah, nah. Let's start having them out for the public to see. Yeah, I'm with it. Oh, hold on. It's muted. I forgot.
Of course. And
so do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
Regretting? Yes, I think it was not good. I think it was not
it was great.
Because we had a lot of different dialogues. I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly, and I want to understand everything correctly. That's about us, not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind? Here we are today.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much, and we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what part in security guarantees will take this deal and what next steps.
Man, you don't need to know what parts. You sold your soul. Now deal with your consequences. Ukraine sold its soul behind you.
Just again to understand for our people, during the war, what you don't like, even sometimes hate, surprises. It's understandable. Many terrible things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises. Yes, that's why we want to be very fair with our partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign. That's it. I don't know when they will do it. It depends on the American side.
So
exactly.
the minerals deal did not have security guarantees listed in it.
It's a part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump said that I think so that if we will be there in some productions and etc. in minerals, that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, I mean, we respect and we believe in strongness of the United States, but I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine, and we had offices, even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American or European company or Ukraine, it doesn't matter. He just came and occupied it. That's what I said. I think this is a great idea, how to strengthen Ukraine and how to make business between two countries, how to make additional jobs for two countries. But it's not just this will not save us.
I read what the Democratic senator said, that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it, and I think today very openly President Trump, he said that I want to be in the middle, otherwise I will not put these guys at the table.
And is he right?
I want to be very honest, I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they are not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses. And they are not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side. From one side, it's understandable. From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together in this question, two parties always together against Russia. You're very strong to do strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Yeah. Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes. But we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with.
So also, that's a very great question. He doesn't want to say, "Hey, nah." Basically, the question is, if there was an audit process, what would we find with the money that was sent to you? Ukraine is also controlled by a lot of like mafia, mob syndicates and whatnot. Well, from what I've researched and listening in on various conversations, they get a piece of the pie, and then the rest is like a very small percentage of everything that's actually sent, whether it be weapons cache and things of that nature, supplies, medical supplies and things of that nature. It only, I think, what, at most 15% of everything that's actually sent to Ukraine or some warring nation or part of NATO actually goes to the front lines where it's actually needed.
With the American side, and 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open, it's digitalized, it's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be. Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people help to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first.
Yo, that ain't the Kamala Harris speech if I ain't hear one. People, people, people. Your people, our people, people, people. Let me.
This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I'm very confident that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored that you kept this interview. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was yawning listening to this dude because he's the can't get right little brother that got into power, can't get right cousin, nephew that got some power and fumbled the bag. And still trying to throw rocks and hide your hand. Yeah, nah, dog. Nah, the people ain't with it. And listen, I'm speaking for the next generation. I think I'm a very great voice of reason, very intellectual. There's a lot of great intellects, but I think I sit in a position where I'm a quick thinker. That actually gets people nervous. The quick thinkers aren't as common as people think. I can hear what you say and actually go down a rabbit hole very quick and come back and connect it to a whole bunch of shit. This was sad. Like I said, I was yawning, and I was genuinely yawning listening to this dude. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna just end it here, man. And Chris Murphy, you know, man, do I even want to show you the tattoo? I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show you. Just so people know I ain't tripping. Like, I am who I say I am. I really do love my city. I am so New Haven. Nah, yeah, let me give it to you fresh. I'm him. Let's see. I'm him. I like the X, It's a symbol, energy, a whole lot of metaphysics and all that good stuff. And instead of the eye, I did the love symbol. I don't know if it's going to show. Yeah, see, did the love symbol. Where the dot is for the eye. That's actually sign language. For love. Love Elm City. Yeah, man. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. That was just, I loved it. I loved it. Honestly, we need to see more of this. The people want to see more of this. When we're brokering deals, yeah. When you're asking us for deals, yeah, no. You ain't just speaking to the president. You speaking to the people. You actually speak to an entire nation. And this is a great way for us to also hold our president accountable too. Well, this is what you said. The people do not agree. Unless you want to sit here and try to do away with the Constitution and then have some authoritarian dictatorship going on because you don't want to actually abide by the people and you want to, hoard power for yourself. But if you don't want to do that, then why not, right? Why not? Now, I understand. I understand. I understand. If it is something that may embark on the lines of national security or whatnot, I get it. Behind closed doors, cool. Stuff like that, yeah. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Links to the content creators will certainly be in the description. Till next time. Ciao.